to the root of this problem. You can see my can line is really bad, so I'm going to disconnect. After everything, I found out that it is on two connections, so I'm coming to disconnect the sockets. Then if the can line is okay, now I'll tag the blind spot monitoring sensors. So if you can see, the moment I disconnect it, the blind spot monitoring and other lights are on. So you can see how clean my waveform is. So now what I'm going to do is let me check. I'm taking it from this service OBD port. So let me check this one also. You can see how clean my can line is. So what I'll do now is I'll go and disconnect the socket from the blind spot. Then I'll see if my can line will be okay. So I'll plug back the socket. So this is the EC11 here. This is the EC11 from the connector. So if you can see, that's the connector over there. So I'll do that and bring you guys back. So now I have connected the socket back, and let me turn the ignition on, and let's see if most of the lights can see. All the lights are off, and you can see the confusion with my can waveform. So now what I'm going to do is, I've tried dismantling this side, so I'm going to remove either the bumper, but I'll check for the connector, where in the wiring diagram it pinpoints the connector that connects the two blind spot sensors, which is the connector FR51 or FR61. So I'll do that, then I'll check that, then I'll make sure my can line is okay. Then I'll tell the client we have to replace the blind spot. So this is the connector that I'm searching for, and let me remove it and bring you guys back. So now I've been able to disconnect the sensor. So this is the sensor that I've been able to disconnect. So the pins are okay, everything is okay. So now what I have to do is I have to check. So now if you can see, my can line is still messed up. So now I have to go and check the next can junction or the next unit available. But for now, I'll connect back my blind spot. That means my issue is not from the blind spot, but could be from one of the units of the blind spot. So from the wiring diagram, I was asked to check the B pillar, and I came to find out this can lines here. So it looks like there are a lot. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 can lines here. I don't know what went on and what they did. So actually what I'm going to do is to find for my problem, my can issue, I'm going to remove this wire and split them one by one. Then I'll see if I'll be able to identify which one is causing my can issue. What I'm going to do is, you can see these control units over here. I have to disconnect it one by one to see which one will stabilize my can line. So now let me disconnect this. I think this is the 4x4 unit. Let me disconnect. Oh no, this is not the 4x4 unit, but let me disconnect it and go and check my can line before I'll come and separate this splice that they've made and find the actual one causing my problem. And still my can line is not that much okay for me. Let me do 5. Let me go to do 500. If 500 is too much, let me go back to my 1 volt. So I'm going to disconnect the next thing. So let me fix this thing back, this unit back, and also this unit back. Then let me disconnect this. If none of them fixes the issue, then I'll go to my splice and work with it. So now I've been able to disconnect this line. Okay, so now what I have to do is that's the 4x4 unit, and if you can see, it looks like my can line looks a bit okay, but it's not okay like the way I want it. So let me continue with my disconnection and see which of them is causing the problem. So if you can see, yeah. So if you can see, my can line is not that okay for me. So I think that's the 4x4 unit, because the 4x4 light is on. So let me fix it back, then do my disconnection and start my disconnection from this point. So I'll disconnect all of them, then I'll start joining them one by one. Thanks to the electrician who did it this way for me. So there is no socket that it is connected to. So what I'm going to do is I've separated it. So I separate A from B. I don't know why they group 3 at the other side and 3 at the other side. So now I know my 4x4 light is off. So now let me check my can line, and it's really messed up. So I'm suspecting maybe one of the terminal resistors are in there. So let me try and add up and see. Let me check this, and this is even crazy than the other one. Diagnosing can line sometimes is a bit difficult, so let me do it step by step. So I'm trying to see which of them. Okay, I think I have to bring another scope here to test them one by one. That would rather help me. So now what I've done is I've separated all the can lines. I've separated them all so that I can check which one, both can high and can low. I've separated them from each other so that I'll know which one exactly I'm dealing with. So let me make sure they are not touching and each one of them is free from each other. So let me go and check my can line, and you can see the system is up now. So you can see that now my can line is perfect. So what I'm going to do is, that means my problem will be from the back there, but I will not be able to identify the actual system causing the issue. So I'm going to pick them one by one, then I'll know. So if to test at the back there, I should get this clean line, then I'll separate that one, then I'll start be adding up the other can line, so that I'll be able to identify which one is really causing me this problem. So now I should get this perfect can signal from the back there. So that's what I'm going to do now. I'm going to use this scope to find for which one will give me the perfect can line now. So let me see. This is not giving me any can line, and it goes with this. And I'm not getting anything on my scope here. So let me see this, and I'm getting a can waveform. So let me add this to it. Let me see if I'll be able to find the one that it comes with. Okay, it comes with this. Let me see if I'll be able to Yes, and I'm getting another can waveform. So for this scope, the refresh rate is very high. That's why you are not seeing it. So it gives you very fast reading. So let me set this also up, and you can see I'm having this and this. So what I'm going to do is, this should be my, these two should be the one bringing the can line to me. So I'm going to join with this. Let me test with this also, and you can see I'm having can communication on that. Let me test with this also, and I'm also having can communication. So let me test this one also, then this one no can communication. So this will be the wire for it, and no can communication. So what I'm going to do now is, let me test this last one, which is here, and I'm getting this. So I'm getting this from this. So these two, yeah, I'm not going to join these two now. I'm not going to join these two now. So I'm not going to join this and that, but I'm going to join this and this and this together, because this one I'm suspecting could be the one bringing the signal, and this and that, which is not having can line, means there is no information, or there is no request, so they are not working. So I'm going to do that, then bring you guys back. Now what I've done is I've joined the three wires that I said I'm going to join them. So I've joined them now, and you can see I'm getting some can wave. So let me check this. So this one I'm not going to join, so I'm going to join this one also, which is the top one. Now I'm going to join that one. I'm having some can signal, but before I add that one to the best can lines that I've seen, these two I'm not joining them because they are giving me horrible can lines. So what I'll do is, or what I have to do is check it, and you can see I'm still having a clean can waveform. Then let me add the other ones to it and see what will happen with my can lines. So what I'm going to do now is, I'm going to add this, which is the last one, then I'll hold on with the two. So yeah, let me add that one to it. So if you can see, I'm about to add that one to the can line, then I'll go and check, then I'll hold on with these two first. So now that I've added it, let me go and check my can line if it is okay. And oh, it looks a bit horrible. It looks a bit horrible. Let me change my pins also. Yeah, it looks a bit horrible. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to take that one out. So now I've taken that one out, and what I'm going to do is, I'm going to scan the vehicle, and now my can waveform is perfect, right? It's okay. So I'm going to add up the horrible one, the one giving me that bad signal, and let me see what is going to happen. So I've added them. So now let me check on my can line, and it doesn't look much horrible. So I'll just add the other ones, and I'll just remove the one, this one, I'll just remove it. So I'm going to add this one also to it. Let me check once again and see if that's the one requesting that is not seeing any can communication. No, yeah, so this one is the one that I'm going to add. Yeah, so I'm going to add this one rather to my can lines. Then I'll scan the vehicle and see the unit that I'm not able to communicate with. So let me add this ones and bring you guys back. So now what I have done is, I've added it and I've taken this one out. This is the suspect, so I've taken him out. So let me see. my scope is off. Let me turn it back on and see my can waveform. Yeah, it's still perfect. So I'm going to scan the vehicle and see which unit is not available. So after checking it, I can see I'm not communicating with some of the modules. So with this one, what I'm going to do is, there's no response from the blind spot and other modules. I'm going to, so the reason why there is no communication could be because of this. So what I'm going to do is, now let me join this and this together, then bring it. So now what I've done is I've isolated 3 can lines down, 3 can lines up. So what I'm going to do is turn the key off and turn it back on, and see the units that I'll be able to communicate with. So now let me go back and do rescan and see the unit that I'll be able to communicate with. And see if I'll be able to communicate with the blind spot or any of the other modules. So let me see. So I'm able to communicate with the blind spot. You can see blind spot left is giving me an issue. So what I'm going to do is I'm redoing all the work again. So now I'm taking these ones and I'll be adding them up to this to see. And also I have to check the can line here also to see if it is okay. So from this, it tells me that my problem is not from any of the can lines here, but it's rather from the line from this point going to the vehicle. So let me scan it again and see if I don't have any issue in the, yeah, still my P is not up till I join. So that means it's not from that side. That means unless I join this to it before. So let me do that. So now I've joined all the wires and this tells me that my issue is not from this side. So if you can see my can line, let me change it also, and if you can see my can high, so this tells me that my issue, so you can see my P is up. And now if I do auto scan, I should be able to communicate with ECU PCM. So this tells me that the issue might be from the other side. So now I have to trace and find where the other connector. So it's not an issue with the can lines at the back. So rather the one that come back to the airbag and other units, that's what is causing my problem. So if you can see, now I'm able to communicate with all these modules. Let me cycle the ignition and I'm able to communicate with all the modules. What I'm going to do is let me keep tracing to the next junction. If you can see, my can line is back looking a bit horrible, but for this I can leave the vehicle for the client to drive it for a while, then let me see if I'll be facing that issue again. Although it doesn't look fully perfect, but it's better. So let me see if I'll find any other can junction, then I'll tape everything back. So if you can see, let me pause this, and I'm having some small can line message. So I'll still continue searching and see if I will be able to identify the actual problem.